Hey there, amazing viewers. Have you ever found yourself frozen in your tracks, heart pounding like a drum solo, just because you had to do something new or scary? Yeah, we've all been there. Fear is like that uninvited guest who shows up at the worst times and overstays its welcome. But what if I told you there's a secret superpower that can turn this party crasher into a cheerleader? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving headfirst into the incredible world of Susan Jeffers and her game-changing book, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. This isn't just another self-help book. It's like a treasure map leading to the hidden chest of courage we all have inside us. Let me take you back to a moment that'll sound all too familiar. Picture this. It's your first day at a new job, and your palms are so sweaty you could fill a swimming pool. Every step feels like walking on jelly, and your mind is a whirlwind of what-ifs. Sound familiar? That's fear, my friend, and it loves to play these tricks on us. But here's where Susan Jeffers flips the script. She says, hey, fear is natural. It's going to show up, but so what? You've got the power to do it anyway. It's like she's giving us permission to feel the fear, but then tells us to dance with it. And guess what? When we do, we find out we're pretty good dancers. Now, let me share a story about someone who took Jeffers' philosophy to heart. Meet Alex, a once shy soul who couldn't even order pizza without rehearsing the conversation. After reading Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, Alex started small, saying hi to strangers, then speaking up in meetings. Fast forward a year, and Alex is leading workshops, inspiring others with the very confidence they once thought was a myth. And Susan Jeffers herself? Oh, she's the real deal. She faced her own fears head-on, from public speaking to writing this book that's touched millions. She didn't just talk the talk. She lived it, proving that fear is just a stepping stone, not a roadblock. Now, I've got a question for you. What's that one thing you've been putting off because fear's got you in a headlock? Maybe it's asking for that promotion, starting a new hobby, or even just making a phone call. Imagine if, like Alex, you decided to feel the fear and do it anyway. What would change in your life? And hey, don't worry, we're all in this together. I've had my share of heart-thumping, knee-knocking moments. But here's the secret sauce. Each time we face our fears, we get a little stronger, a little braver. It's like leveling up in a video game, but in real life. So, as we move forward, I want you to keep this in mind. Fear is not the enemy. It's just a challenge, a hurdle waiting for you to leap over it. And in our next segment, we're going to dive deeper into Susan Jeffers' strategies for turning fear into fuel. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Remember, the only way out is through. So, let's do this together. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Are you with me? Chapter 1. The Nature of Fear, Understanding the Beast Within. Welcome to our deep dive into the nature of fear, a fundamental emotion that shapes our lives in countless ways. Today, we're going to explore the origins of fear, its manifestations, and the psychological impact it has on individuals. By understanding fear, we aim to demystify it, making it less intimidating and more manageable. Let's start by considering the biological basis of fear. Fear is an ancient emotion, hardwired into our brains to keep us safe. It's part of our survival instinct, a response that prepares our bodies to react to danger. When we perceive a threat, our amygdala, a small almond-shaped structure deep within our brains, springs into action. It sends signals to our nervous system, triggering the release of adrenaline and cortisol, hormones that prime us for a fight-or-flight response. This process is automatic and incredibly powerful, designed to protect us from harm. But what happens when this ancient mechanism is triggered by modern, often intangible fears? This brings us to our exploration of common fears and their psychological roots. Many of us share similar fears, such as fear of failure, rejection, or the unknown. These fears often stem from past experiences, societal influences, and personal insecurities. For example, a fear of public speaking might be rooted in a past humiliation or a deep-seated belief that we're not good enough. Understanding these roots can be the first step in overcoming them. It's also crucial to distinguish between rational and irrational fears. Rational fears are based on real, immediate threats like the fear of crossing a busy street without looking. Irrational fears, on the other hand, are disproportionate to the actual danger or are based on imagined threats. A classic example is arachnophobia, an intense fear of spiders, which can be crippling even though most spiders pose no real threat to humans. Recognizing the difference between rational and irrational fears allows us to confront them more effectively. Now, let's enrich our understanding with a personal account of overcoming a debilitating phobia. Imagine Sarah, a young woman who had a crippling fear of flying. Her fear was so intense that it prevented her from traveling, affecting both her personal and professional life. The mere thought of boarding a plane sent her heart racing and her palms sweating. Sarah decided to face her fear, seeking therapy and gradually exposing herself to the idea of flying. She started by visiting airports, then sitting in grounded planes, and eventually taking short flights. Through this process, she learned to manage her anxiety and eventually overcame her phobia. Sarah's story is a testament to the power of courage and determination in conquering fear. Next, let's draw inspiration from the story of a historical figure who conquered fear to achieve greatness. Consider the life of Amelia Earhart, the pioneering aviator who became the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean. Amelia faced numerous fears and challenges, including societal norms that discouraged women from pursuing such adventurous endeavors. Despite these obstacles, she pushed forward, driven by her passion for flying and her desire to prove that women could achieve remarkable feats. Amelia's story reminds us that sometimes, the greatest achievements lie just beyond our fears. To further illustrate the effects of fear on decision-making, let's examine a few case studies. Consider an entrepreneur who hesitates to launch a new business due to fear of failure. This fear can lead to analysis paralysis, preventing them from taking necessary risks and seizing opportunities. Another example is a student who avoids speaking up in class due to fear of judgment, missing out on valuable learning experiences. These examples highlight how fear can inhibit growth and achievement, underscoring the importance of addressing it head-on. Finally, let's explore everyday situations where fear manifests subtly. Have you ever avoided a difficult conversation because you feared confrontation? Or perhaps you've hesitated to pursue a passion because you feared ridicule or failure. These subtle manifestations of fear can accumulate, creating barriers to personal fulfillment and happiness. By recognizing these instances, we can begin to challenge them, gradually expanding our comfort zones and embracing new experiences. In conclusion, fear is a complex emotion, deeply ingrained in our biology and psychology. By understanding its origins and manifestations, we can start to demystify it, making it less intimidating and more manageable. Through personal stories, historical accounts, and everyday examples, we've seen that fear can be conquered with courage, determination, and self-awareness. As we move forward, let's remember that while fear is a natural part of life, it need not define our actions or limit our potential. Instead, let it be a catalyst for growth and transformation. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the nature of fear. Chapter 2. The Power of Positive Thinking. Rewiring Your Mind. Welcome to Chapter 2 of our journey together, where we're going to delve deep into the transformative power of positive thinking. Imagine for a moment that your mind is like a garden. In this garden, the quality of the flowers and plants, the thoughts and beliefs that grow, depends entirely on the seeds you sow and the care you give them. Positive thinking is about planting and nurturing the right seeds, ensuring that your mental garden blooms with resilience, hope, and joy, even in the face of fear. Let's start by understanding the science behind positive thinking. Our brains are incredibly complex and adaptable organs. Neuroscientists have discovered that the brain can literally rewire itself based on our thoughts and experiences, a phenomenon known as neuroplasticity. This means that with intentional effort, we can train our brains to focus on the positive, creating new neural pathways that support a more optimistic outlook. Now, you might be wondering, how does one go about cultivating a positive mindset? Well, Susan Jeffers, a renowned psychologist and author of Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, offers some powerful techniques. One of the most influential methods she discusses is the use of affirmations. These are positive statements that you repeat to yourself, gradually replacing negative thoughts with empowering ones. For instance, instead of saying, "I can't handle this situation," you might affirm, "I am capable and strong, and I can handle anything that comes my way." Another technique involves visualization. This is where you create a mental picture of your success, your happiness, and your peace. By vividly imagining these outcomes, you're essentially programming your brain to expect and work towards them. Visualization helps bridge the gap between where you are now and where you want to be, making the journey less daunting and more achievable. But perhaps the most crucial aspect of overcoming fear through positive thinking is self-talk. We all have that inner voice, the one that constantly narrates our experiences and shapes our perceptions. For many, this voice is often critical and fearful. However, with practice, we can transform it into a supportive ally. By consciously choosing words of encouragement and kindness, we not only boost our self-esteem, but also diminish the power that fear holds over us. Let me share a story that beautifully illustrates the impact of positive thinking. Meet Alex, a young entrepreneur who was paralyzed by fear of failure. Every decision, every opportunity was overshadowed by the what-ifs and the worst-case scenarios. But then, Alex discovered the world of positive affirmations and visualization. Gradually, he started to replace his fears with visions of success and affirmations of his capabilities. "I am a successful entrepreneur," he would repeat daily, picturing himself achieving his goals. Over time, this shift in mindset not only boosted his confidence but also propelled him to take risks and seize opportunities he previously would have shied away from. Today, Alex runs a thriving business, a testament to the transformative power of positive thinking. Now, let's zoom out and look at a broader narrative, the inspiring story of a community that thrived despite adversities. In a small town hit by economic downturns, the residents found themselves enveloped in a cloud of despair. But rather than succumbing to negativity, they decided to embrace a collective positive outlook. They started community gatherings focused on gratitude and visioning exercises for their town's future. Through these efforts, they cultivated a sense of hope and unity, which eventually translated into real change. Businesses began to recover, community projects blossomed, and the town emerged stronger than ever. This story underscores the power of a shared positive mindset in overcoming even the most daunting challenges. To bring this into sharper focus, let's consider some before and after scenarios. Imagine a person who constantly dwells on their past failures and fears future ones. Their days are filled with anxiety, and their actions are limited by self-doubt. Now, envision this same person after embracing positive thinking. They greet each day with optimism, viewing challenges as opportunities for growth. Their actions are bold and purposeful, driven by a belief in their potential. This shift doesn't just change their outcomes. It transforms their entire experience of life. To help you embark on your own journey towards positive thinking, let's explore some exercises for practicing affirmations. Start by identifying areas of your life where fear holds you back. Then, craft affirmations that counter these fears. For example, if you fear public speaking, your affirmation could be, "I speak with confidence and clarity." Repeat these affirmations daily, ideally in front of a mirror, to reinforce their impact. Additionally, spend a few minutes each day visualizing yourself achieving your goals, feeling the emotions associated with that success. In conclusion, the power of positive thinking is not just a feel-good notion. It's a scientifically backed tool that can significantly alter the trajectory of your life. By rewiring your mind through affirmations, visualization, and supportive self-talk, you can transform fear into a catalyst for growth and empowerment. Remember, the garden of your mind is yours to cultivate. Choose to plant seeds of positivity and watch as your life blooms with possibilities. Thank you for joining me in exploring the profound impact of positive thinking. In the next chapter, we'll continue our journey by discussing practical steps you can take to integrate these principles into your daily life. Until then, keep nurturing those seeds of positivity, and remember, the power to change your life lies within you. Chapter 3. Taking Action. The Courage to Move Forward. Welcome back, dear listeners. As we journey further into the heart of overcoming fear, we arrive at a pivotal crossroad, a place where understanding meets action. This is Chapter 3, Taking Action, the Courage to Move Forward. Here, we will explore the transformative power of action, how to dissect our fears into manageable tasks, and the indomitable spirit of courage that fuels personal growth. Imagine for a moment that you're standing at the edge of a vast, uncharted ocean. The waters are turbulent, the winds are fierce, and the horizon is obscured by mist. This ocean represents the fears and uncertainties that hold us back from reaching our full potential. But here's the truth. The only way to navigate these waters is to set sail, to take action, despite the trepidation that grips us. The importance of action in overcoming fear cannot be overstated. It's easy to get caught in the whirlpool of analysis paralysis, where we overthink and hesitate until opportunities pass us by. Action, however, is the antidote to this paralysis. It's the bridge that connects our dreams with our reality. By taking action, we confront our fears head-on, and in doing so, we diminish their power over us. So how do we begin? The answer lies in breaking down our fears into manageable tasks. Think of your fear as a towering mountain. From afar, it seems insurmountable, a monolith that casts a long shadow over your path. But as you draw closer, you notice that this mountain isn't a single, unbroken mass. It's made up of countless smaller rocks and boulders. By focusing on these smaller components, you can chart a course that leads you to the summit one step at a time. Let's consider a story that illuminates this process. Meet Sarah, a young professional with a crippling fear of public speaking. The mere thought of addressing a crowd made her heart race and her palms sweat. But Sarah had a dream, to become a motivational speaker and inspire others with her story. To achieve this, she knew she had to confront her fear. Sarah began by taking small, deliberate steps. She started by speaking in front of a mirror, then progressed to recording herself and watching the playback. Gradually, she shared her thoughts with a trusted friend, then a small group, and finally, she joined a local Toastmasters club. Each step was a victory, a testament to her courage and determination. Within a year, Sarah found herself on stage, delivering a powerful speech to an audience of hundreds. Her journey from fear to confidence wasn't easy, but by breaking down her fear into manageable tasks, she achieved what once seemed impossible. Now, let's shift our focus to the role of courage in personal growth. Courage is not the absence of fear but the triumph over it. It's the inner strength that propels us forward, even when the path is fraught with uncertainty. Consider the journey of an entrepreneur named Alex. Alex had a vision for a tech startup but faced numerous rejections from investors. Each rejection was a blow, a reminder of the odds stacked against him. Yet, Alex persisted. He refined his pitch, learned from each setback, and continued to knock on doors until one finally opened. Alex's story teaches us that courage is the fuel that sustains our journey. It's what enables us to rise after each fall, to learn from our mistakes, and to keep moving forward. Courage is the voice that whispers, "Try again," when fear screams, "Give up." Now, let's explore some practical strategies for tackling common fears. Whether it's the fear of failure, rejection, or the unknown, the principles remain the same. First, acknowledge your fear. Accept it as a natural response to the challenges you face. Second, redefine your relationship with fear. Instead of viewing it as a barrier, see it as a beacon guiding you toward growth. Third, set clear, achievable goals. Break down your journey into small, actionable steps, and celebrate each milestone along the way. Consider the fear of failure, a universal obstacle that often paralyzes us. To overcome this, start by reframing failure as a stepping stone to success. Embrace each setback as a valuable lesson, an opportunity to refine your approach and strengthen your resolve. Remember, every successful person has a history of failures. What sets them apart is their willingness to learn from these experiences and press on. Real-life examples abound of people who took action despite their fears. Take J.K. Rowling, whose Harry Potter series was rejected by multiple publishers before becoming a global phenomenon. Or consider Thomas Edison, who famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work," before finally inventing the light bulb. These stories remind us that action, coupled with perseverance and courage, is the key to unlocking our potential. As we wrap up this chapter, I urge you to reflect on your own fears. What steps can you take today to confront them? Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. It's time to take that step, armed with the knowledge that fear is not a barrier but a bridge to your future. Thank you for joining me in this exploration of taking action and the courage to move forward. In the next chapter, we'll dive deeper into maintaining momentum and sustaining growth. Until then, I encourage you to embrace your fears, break them down, and take that first courageous step toward your dreams. Chapter 4. Building Resilience. Bouncing back from failure. Let's start by acknowledging a universal truth. Failure is an inevitable part of life. Each of us, no matter how successful, has faced failure at some point. Yet, it's not the failure itself that defines us, but how we respond to it. This chapter is about understanding the profound role resilience plays in facing our fears and bouncing back stronger than ever. Drawing from the insights of Susan Jeffers, we will explore how viewing failure as a stepping stone rather than a setback can transform our lives. So, what exactly is resilience? At its core, resilience is the ability to recover quickly from difficulties. It's the mental toughness that allows us to withstand adversity. It's not about avoiding failure altogether, but rather about using it as a catalyst for growth. Susan Jeffers, in her transformative work, teaches us that fear is often the biggest barrier to resilience. By learning to embrace fear and push through it, we unlock the power to turn failures into opportunities. The journey to resilience begins with a shift in mindset. Instead of viewing failure as a dead end, we must see it as a detour on the path to success. This mindset shift is crucial, as it empowers us to learn from our mistakes and apply those lessons to future endeavors. Let me share with you the inspiring story of a professional athlete who epitomizes resilience. Meet Alex, a talented basketball player whose career was almost derailed by a severe knee injury. After months of grueling rehabilitation, Alex was told he might never play at the same level again. The fear of never returning to the game he loved was overwhelming, but Alex refused to let fear dictate his future. He embraced the challenge, viewing his injury not as a career ender but as an opportunity to rebuild himself stronger than ever. Alex focused on developing mental resilience alongside physical recovery. He visualized his return to the court, practiced mindfulness to stay centered, and sought support from coaches and teammates. Slowly but surely, he made his way back not just to the game, but to the top of his sport, leading his team to victory in a championship game. Alex's story is a powerful testament to the fact that resilience can be cultivated. It's not an innate trait reserved for a select few, but a skill that can be developed through practice and determination. Now, let's delve into some strategies for building resilience. First and foremost, developing a growth mindset is essential. This means believing that your abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work. When you encounter failure, instead of saying, "I'm not good enough," tell yourself, "I can learn from this and improve." Another technique is practicing emotional regulation. This involves managing your emotions in a way that allows you to remain calm and focused, even in the face of adversity. Techniques such as deep breathing, mindfulness, and positive self-talk can be incredibly effective in maintaining emotional balance. Reframing failure as a learning opportunity is also key. Instead of dwelling on what went wrong, ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience? By shifting your perspective, you turn setbacks into stepping stones. To illustrate this further, consider the tale of an entrepreneur who bounced back from bankruptcy to build a successful business. Meet Sarah, a passionate business owner whose first venture ended in financial disaster. The experience was devastating, and the fear of failing again was paralyzing. However, Sarah chose to view her bankruptcy as a lesson rather than a defeat. She reflected on her mistakes, sought advice from mentors, and reevaluated her approach to business. Sarah realized that her initial failure was due to a lack of understanding of her target market and poor financial planning. Armed with this knowledge, she launched a new venture, applying the lessons she had learned. This time, Sarah focused on building a strong foundation, conducting thorough market research, and creating a robust financial plan. Her resilience paid off, and her new business flourished, becoming a leader in its industry. Sarah's story teaches us that failure, when viewed as a learning opportunity, can be the cornerstone of future success. In addition to personal stories, there are numerous examples of individuals who thrived after experiencing failure. Take Thomas Edison, who famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Edison's relentless pursuit of innovation, despite countless setbacks, led to the invention of the electric light bulb, forever changing the world. Or consider J.K. Rowling, who faced multiple rejections before finally publishing the Harry Potter series. Her resilience in the face of repeated failure not only led to one of the most beloved book series of all time but also inspired countless aspiring writers to persevere. These stories and examples underscore a critical point. Resilience is not about never failing but about having the courage to continue despite failure. It's about embracing the lessons that failure teaches us and using them to fuel our journey forward. In conclusion, building resilience is a journey that requires a shift in mindset, the development of emotional regulation, and the courage to view failure as a stepping stone. By cultivating resilience, we empower ourselves to face our fears and bounce back from adversity stronger and more determined than ever. Let the stories of those who have triumphed over failure inspire you to embrace your own challenges as opportunities for growth. Remember, it's not the failure that defines you, but how you choose to respond to it. Chapter 5: Embracing Change, the Path to Personal Growth. Welcome back to our journey of self-discovery and personal development. In this chapter, we delve into a crucial topic that often elicits feelings of apprehension and uncertainty: embracing change. Change, my friends, is the only constant in life. It is the river that carves the landscapes of our existence, and learning to navigate its waters can lead to profound personal growth and fulfillment. As Susan Jeffers, the renowned author and psychologist, aptly puts it, when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. Let's begin by exploring the intricate connection between change and fear. When faced with the prospect of change, it's natural for our minds to conjure up a myriad of what-if scenarios, painting vivid pictures of failure, discomfort, or loss. This fear can be paralyzing, trapping us in a state of inertia where we cling to the familiar, even if it no longer serves us. But what if we reframe our perspective? What if we see change not as a threat but as an opportunity for growth and self-discovery? Consider the story of Emily, a woman who found herself at a crossroads after a significant life change. Emily had spent over a decade climbing the corporate ladder in a prestigious law firm. Her job was secure, her paycheck substantial, but inside, she felt a growing emptiness. The spark that once fueled her passion had dimmed, replaced by a numbing routine. When her firm underwent a merger, Emily was faced with the choice of adapting to new management or taking a bold leap into the unknown. Choosing the latter, Emily decided to leave her job and pursue her lifelong passion for photography. The decision was not without its challenges. There were moments of doubt and financial strain, but Emily embraced the change wholeheartedly. She invested time in honing her craft, networking with fellow photographers, and eventually started her own studio. Today, Emily's work is celebrated in galleries, and she speaks of her journey with a sense of fulfillment that was absent in her previous life. Emily's story is a testament to the transformative power of embracing change. It illustrates how stepping outside our comfort zone can lead to personal growth and a renewed sense of purpose. But how can we, like Emily, cultivate the courage to embrace change? One effective strategy is to practice mindfulness and self-awareness. By becoming attuned to our thoughts and emotions, we can recognize the fear that often accompanies change and address it proactively. Engaging in reflective practices, such as journaling or meditation, can help us understand our fears and challenge the limiting beliefs that hold us back. Another strategy is to cultivate a growth mindset, as popularized by psychologist Carol Dweck. A growth mindset embraces challenges, sees failures as opportunities to learn, and believes that abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work. By adopting this perspective, we can approach change with curiosity and resilience, viewing it as a stepping stone to personal development. Now, Let's consider the journey of Alex, who left a comfortable job in finance to pursue a passion for environmental conservation. Alex's decision was met with skepticism from friends and family, who questioned the stability and practicality of such a career shift. However, Alex was driven by a deep-seated desire to make a meaningful impact on the world. The transition was far from smooth. Alex faced financial uncertainty and a steep learning curve in the conservation field. But through perseverance and a willingness to learn, Alex eventually secured a position with a leading environmental organization. Today, Alex leads projects that make a tangible difference in protecting our planet, and the sense of purpose and fulfillment derived from this work is immeasurable. Alex's journey exemplifies the benefits of personal growth through change. By pursuing a passion, Alex not only found professional success but also aligned life with core values, leading to a deeper sense of happiness and contentment. To further illustrate the power of embracing change, let's explore some practical tips for adapting to change. First, focus on the aspects of change that you can control. While certain changes may be thrust upon us, our response is always within our power. By taking proactive steps and setting achievable goals, we can navigate change more effectively. Second, seek support from others. Whether it's through friends, family, or professional networks, connecting with others can provide valuable insights and encouragement. Sharing experiences and learning from the journeys of others can offer new perspectives and strategies for managing change. Third, celebrate small victories along the way. Change is often a gradual process, and recognizing and celebrating incremental progress can boost motivation and morale. Each step forward, no matter how small, is a testament to your growth and resilience. As we conclude this chapter, I invite you to reflect on your own relationship with change. Have you been resisting change out of fear, or are you ready to embrace it as a pathway to personal growth? Remember, change is not just an inevitable part of life. It is a powerful catalyst for transformation and self-discovery. In the words of Susan Jeffers, feel the fear and do it anyway. By embracing change with courage and openness, we unlock the door to a world of possibilities and personal fulfillment. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of embracing change, and I look forward to continuing our journey together in the next chapter. Hey there, friends. We've come to the end of this incredible journey together, exploring the powerful message of feel the fear and do it anyway. Let's take a moment to recap the essence of what we've learned. First and foremost, overcoming fear isn't just a one-time deal. It's a lifelong journey, a continuous commitment to growth and courage. Susan Jeffers, the brilliant mind behind this transformative book, taught us that to truly live, we've got to dive into the unknown and face our fears head-on. I want to share a little story with you. Imagine a small seed, buried in the ground, scared of what lies above. But it doesn't stay hidden forever. Over time, it grows, breaking through the soil, facing the sun, and becoming a beautiful tree. Just like that seed, we, too, can blossom beyond our fears. That's exactly what Susan Jeffers inspired in countless lives. Her legacy is a testament to the power of courage and growth. Her words have been a guiding light for so many, including myself. I remember back when I first picked up her book, feeling stuck and afraid. But her teachings gave me the courage to step out of my comfort zone and really live. As we wrap up, let's remember the key takeaway. Living fearlessly is about embracing each challenge as an opportunity to grow. It's about saying yes to life, even when it's scary. So, I'm throwing down the gauntlet here. What's one small step you can take today to face a fear? Maybe it's trying something new, having that tough conversation, or simply pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. Before we go, I want to leave you with a final thought from Susan Jeffers herself. Pushing through fear is less frightening than living with the underlying fear that comes from a feeling of helplessness. That's powerful, isn't it? So, let's do this together. Let's take those leaps, big or small, and remember it's okay to be afraid. But it's not okay to let fear stop you from living your best life. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Keep exploring, keep growing, and most importantly, keep feeling the fear and doing it anyway. Until next time, stay courageous and take care, my friends.